Yeah, greeting my people. Yeah, man. I'm here again, try to understand and figure out this issue or this blackout that happened on Friday in Jamaica. And I come to a conclusion, very serious conclusion, because it's happened Friday and today's Monday, and I actually sit around and figure out exactly how this thing. I listen to everybody, listen to the media, listen and figure out and use my strategic way of thinking. Okay? And I actually come to the conclusion, my conclusion. Okay? Could be allegedly. But let me tell you something. There was this nuclear warship down by the Port Royal Naval Port. Okay? By the Kingston Harbor. It's not, it doesn't, the name Kingston Harbor is just a name originally, but the Port Royal Naval Port is really the proper name. That is because maritime and all of them come under the Port Royal Naval Port. So anyway, that's where that nuclear ship was docked, and it's called the Nimitz. The Nimitz is one of the most powerful nuclear warship America has. Very, very dangerous. Anywhere that ship goes, anywhere that ship dock, something gonna get deleted or something gonna get destroyed. That's how that ship operate. And it's called the Nimitz. Nimitz are one nuclear carrier warhead, 90 warship, 2 destroyer, and 2 guided missile cruiser, and a submarine that travel with that ship. See what I'm saying? So Friday now, that's where the event happened. Everything that happened, from you see that ship now, everything happened Friday night into Saturday morning. So what happened now? Cuba is the ultimate target because Cuba is 90 miles south. Jamaica is 90 miles south of Cuba. Yeah. So what happened? Jamaica port is one of the only port in this Caribbean nation here that can harbor those kind of naval defense operation. Okay. So when that ship was at the Port Royal Naval Port, it's just not happening like that. So what happened Saturday night now, Friday night, the Americans, because when they actually send out a lot of drone to actually monitoring every movement that's going on in Cuba. Okay, so what Cuba now activate their naval defense through the Russian satellite, because the Russian satellite pick up everything what's going on from Jamaica to Cuba. So Cuba's activate the Russian air defense system, which is guided by a satellite monitor. All right, so Cuba activate the naval ship. Because Cuban has its own strategic ship, which carry those missiles on it. So all of those are activated. And they activated their drone, and those drone can spot anything going on from Cuba to Jamaica once they activated. So what happened in Cuba now? When America actually send their drone over to Cuba just mobilize everything. And what Cuba do? Cuba strategically wasn't gonna really attack the American ship. They're not gonna do that, because that would be a frontline warfare between Cuba and America right away. So what Cuba do, Jamaica come under the pressure. Jamaica become the target because Jamaica is the one that actually where America operating from. Just like with Iran and the Saudis and the U.A.E. and all of those countries that, you know, in the Middle East where the war is going on right now, that's how things operate. So Cuba now target Jamaica. Cuba have one of the most powerful electronic warfare device in the Western Hemisphere, and that's what they get from Russia. So that electronic warfare device can knock out the whole Jamaica power grid, and that's exactly what Cuba did. Okay, leave Jamaica in darkness. And one of those drone that Cuba have, those Russian drone, that's the Russian drone that attack the JDF. Okay, so everything, as you might see, my people, everything come in accordance. Everything does come in sequences. So all of those lightning and stuff like that you see going on, or people say the lightning is lightning knocked out the power. There's no lightning that knocked out the power grid. Those are those are drone. All of those fire, light and lightning you hear people talking about, those are actually drone. Those are actually like missiles. Because I'm saying there was a direct confrontation Friday with the Americans and the Cubans. And as I'm saying, Jamaica is the one that caught up in the middle. So when they're gonna come on the mainstream and tell about that the power grid was knocked out by lightning, there's not such story as that. No such story, because power grid is control in different orders. You have a power grid for Kingston, you have a power grid for St. Catherine, a power grid for different places. And the only way a power grid gonna get knocked out like that is unless the main power grid that actually run Jamaica electronic system got destroyed. And that's where everything took place Friday, my people. So, as I'm saying, I can be wrong on whatever I say, but I end of the day, strategically, that's how I put my puzzle together and put my pieces together and come up with this conclusion. So it can be allegedly, but as I'm saying, my people, you have to use your common sense of thinking in this earth. Because if you don't do that, things gonna pass you and things gonna come right under your nose and your two eyes don't see it. So my people, this is just the beginning of this whole warfare between America and Cuba. And believe you me, Jamaica is in the middle of it. Why you think the Jamaican government and them arguing and try to see if they can get the Jamaican citizen out of Cuba that's studying in Cuba? They come on the social media and the mainstream and say, oh, they would like to get all of their citizens out of Cuba, you know, and they don't say it before anything strike. They didn't say anything like that. But for you to want your student and your people out of a country immediately, there's some immediate danger behind that. All right? So my people, stay put, and remember, this is not the end of what's gonna happen. And Jamaica, believe you me or not, it's not gonna end easy with what's going on with Cuba and the Americans. Okay? Thank you.